It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
What it do? What it do? Welcome to another episode of Let's Bet It. Gonna be a quick episode. Got some games starting early today. Couple games that I've put um, my money on, and we'll talk about three of them today. Let me get this last one typed up here. One second, y'all. Okay, there we go. All right, so three games. Gonna talk about them. Get up off here. Um, First game up is the 1 o'clock game. Pacers and Hawks. Um, Hawks laying 5.5 at home. Total coming in at 234.5. Um, yeah, this spot I like the under. The spread really doesn't appeal to me too much because I think the Pacers coming off of that big win in OKC the other day, thought that was that was the best effort you were going to get out of them offensively in that game. That was a big one that they really wanted to win for obvious reasons. Um, but both of these teams have actually been playing really good defense lately, and I just think that the Hawks also. I just don't trust their offense yet. I've got to see it. One, even though the Pacers have been mostly abysmal on offense this year, their defense has come to play. I think Rick Carlisle has really made this season put more emphasis on the defensive end because obviously he doesn't have the engine that makes the offense go. So I think I played under 234.5, put a small play on it, but that is a play that I made. Um, Got a couple comments. Phil, appreciate it, man. Yep, cashed a couple tickets yesterday. We're gonna get some more today. Um, the next one is the 3 o'clock game. Sixers and Hornets. Hornets getting two or laying 2.5 at home. Total sitting at 228. And the play that I ended up playing for that one was the Hornets team total over 114.5. And if you look at, at first glance, that the Hornets offense over the last 10 games has just looked inconsistent. There have been peaks and valleys, and which may cause some hesitation at the window. But when you dig deeper into the context and scoring profile, you can kind of see that this number is attainable. So in their most recent game on the 24th, they scored 119 against the Wizards and cleared it pretty good. But what stood out was the spot that they were in. They were coming off of a long road trip, and usually I think they were. Let me make doubly sure before I get to Lion in here. So the Hornets. Okay, no, it was a spot when they played the Cavs where that was a flat spot for them. But nonetheless, they've been putting up decent numbers, especially against teams that can play fast, which I think Philly likes to, especially with Embiid out, they like to pick up pace, a little bit more. Um, Even looking at the road trip the Hornets were on, they scored. I mean, the scoring was great: 110, 116, 135, 109, 150. Um, so I mean, even on the road, they're putting these kind of numbers up. And if you look at, like I said, if you look at the 76ers without Embiid, I mean, you're losing rim protection, you're losing defensive rebounding, which I mean, Charlotte is one of the best rebounding teams in the league. And also it wasn't like the nail in the coffin for me, but the one thing that kind of really that I looked into were these early games for Charlotte, these afternoon games. And they have played in early afternoon games this season. And in those contests, they are averaging 120 points per game. went over this 114.5 every time in these early games. Their pace is generally up in these early games as well, or these earlier afternoon games as well. So that is another look that I went with, was the Hornets team total over 114.5. All right, let's hit this last one that I've got opinion on, or that I played actually. Played that Hornets. Next one is Warriors and Wolves. These two just played last night in Minnesota. The Warriors smacked them up pretty good. So yesterday I played the Warriors team total under 115.5, and I'm just going to go right back to the well today. I'm going to take their team total under 113.5. And here's the thing: they won the game, but still stayed under their team total from yesterday. And the books adjusted slightly, so that's we know what those kind of back-to-back situations like that, you usually like the under more so than the over in the first game. So if you look at the spot Minnesota was in yesterday, first you got to acknowledge what's been going on off the court in that city. The social unrest is clearly weighed on them. You could hear it in the post-game interviews. Many of those players live there, have families there, their kids go to school there. So it looked like basketball wasn't the top priority, and it showed up in, them damn near getting beat by 30. I expect them to be much more focused tonight, and they've been on a slide. But this feels like a spot where they can respond with some effort and defensive intensity, possibly trying to lift the energy, around the team and the city. And just looking at the last game in particular, looking at the Warriors quarter by quarter. In the first quarter, they shot 35% from the field, 27% from three. Second quarter, 32% from the field, 25% from three. Then in the third quarter, 59% from the field and 45% from three. 5 for 11 from deep in the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, 40% from the field, 33% from three. So I just feel like that third quarter was the outlier, the stretch, where the game got away from Minnesota defensively. And outside of that hot run, Golden State was pretty inefficient for most of the night. Even with that explosive quarter, they still only finished with 111. So I think Minnesota, once again, I don't know what they're going to look like offensively, but I don't see, Golden State getting another 60% from the field in a quarter of this game. So like I played the Warriors team total over, and with Minnesota laying points at home, who knows? If I had to lean away, it'll probably be Golden State, but I like that team total under a lot better. So those are the three plays that I've got. Hornets or Pacers, Hawks under 234.5. The Hornets team total over 114.5, and the Warriors team total over 113.5. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. And I'm out of here, man. Catch me on Twitter. I'll probably be tweeting throughout the day. Got a day off here for the snow, so I'll be around all day. So hit me on Twitter. Dropping Dimes. Follow the rest of the crew. Can't Stop, GLB, Stacks. Get it, all of us. All right. Peace out.
If you broke, try to have a nice day. If you're fat, try to have a nice day. If you're skinny, try to have a nice day. If you got a big head, try to have a nice day. If your mama's ugly, try to have a nice day. If your daddy whoop your ass, try to have a nice day. If a dog bites you in the ass, bite him back and try to have a nice day. Try to have a nice day. See, that's my theme. Try to have a nice day. I'm about to leave right now and go try to have me a nice day. All right. Try to have a nice day.